Wow, I think over a week and a half, right? Welcome back. I'm glad to be back. Happy Sunday. Hope you're having a blessed Sunday. If not, still time to spend a little quality time with God. We did this morning, went to church this morning. It was great. It's been a crazy week and a half for us, 2 weeks, I guess, if you are counting, but it's good to be back. So let's see what we got. Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome to SFMF Live. You know, I got some hot coffee. Back into a routine. Jake Austin. Good to see you, bud. So, yes, we're back in the SFMF studio. Back on dry land for a little while. I don't know. It's just something people say. Annie Benani's here. The SFMF crew is back. Again, been a crazy couple weeks. Carrie Ann Marie Potts. All right. We got you. You don't have to watch it on catch up later. Good to see you, Carrie Ann Marie. Glad you're here. What are you drinking? What's everybody drinking? Let's get started. A whole lot has happened in the past 2 weeks. I want to hear from y'all. What have you been up to? Thank you, Carrie Ann says, welcome back. I'm telling you, it's been crazy. A lot of content that we're going to be talking about now, just a lot of things in general that have been going on. So glad you're here. We'll give everybody a little bit of time to get caught up. John from the High Desert. John Hayes, good to see you. Welcome, High Desert. OG Street Racers here. All right. Good to see you, brother. Welcome back. Oh, that's me. Welcome back. It's been crazy. It's been busy. A lot of things happening in the world in the past week and a half, not just at SFMF Studios. Recently, just talking to the producer about, remember during COVID, all those service members that were forced out because they didn't get the shot. And then a couple years later, they said, yes, you can come back in. Not a whole lot did. Now, under the new administration, they're saying not only can you come back in, but you'll be reimbursed. You'll be re-entered at the rank you were when you left. So a lot of good changes in that. We'll see what everybody thinks about that. Jordan Allen, good evening, SFMF. I've been enjoying your content and you. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Again, if all of you who've been hanging tough, not a whole lot of new content, no new content in the past week, but we're back in the studio, ready to get after it. Soren Stacking, good to see you, brother. Heavy J, we are Lima Charlie. Awesome. Again, I didn't even ask for a 5x5. Sound is good. Camera angle is good. Do I need to lean back? Can you look at it? Let's make tough cool again. Yes, JW. Lean forward. Look at it. Look at it when I do. Let's make tough cool again. J-Dub, I'm with you. Yeah, it's the angle of the camera. Kimmy Cocoa Puffs. Good to see you. Yay. J-Dub, I'm going to touch on that. Let's make tough cool again. That's really where America is at. That is awesome. Solomon, hooray. Hello from UK. Can we please borrow Trump? Wow. Good evening, SFMF. I really enjoyed your live stream because you motivate me every time I watch you. Era. Semper Fi, Jordan. Hey, George, we need him. Right. No, you can't have Trump, but yes. How funny is that? Let's make tough cool again. I'm going to hit on that, J-Dub. Why do you say that? That is a good one. We can talk about that for 2 hours. Hoorah.
I dare you.
Let's make tough cool again. So, where'd it go? What happened to toughness? What happened to men? Right, even young boys and outside getting your knees skinned up and playing pickup game of football, and somebody maybe break a pinky or something. Who cares? You tape it up and you get right back at it. Where are those young boys at? And where's the men? Big up from UK, big up Reform UK. Jared, good to see you, brother. David Bryant, long time no see. Semper Fi Water and lemon didn't receive a notification. Come on with the notifications. I don't know when they haven't figured that out yet. Some people get them, some people don't. I don't think UK has ever had a good one yet in my 44 years of life. Carrie Ann Marie, you're young. Got to hang on tight. Huh?
I might need your watch.
Oh, is it banging? I might have heard it. So, mate, if you had to pull aside an individual who didn't make promotion for personality reasons, how would you handle that situation? Heavy J, that's pretty deep. So he or she didn't get promotion because of their personality. We're talking civilian community, I'm guessing. Because normally the Marine Corps don't care about your personality. They want your skills. So if it's purely for their personality, a little more from Heavy J. I have a belief those men and young men aren't worried about being PC. They're out at work and making their dreams a reality. Those men, the real men. Yeah, I think you're right on that. That's where the real men are. But not all men can be men like that. But there are tougher women than some of these men out there. It's soft. Who's the guy that always says beta? What's that guy's name? Jesse Lee
Peterson.
Jesse Lee Peterson. You need to watch some of his stuff. He pretty much calls it out beta. And I haven't seen enough of it yet to quote much of his stuff. But men, where are the men at? Right? Is it? We'll talk about that. Let me welcome everybody again. It's been a while. Good to see you all from the producer. Merker doesn't need PC. I'm with that. Alex Ara. Yes, the politically correctness part, maybe what you're getting at, Heavy J, if that person didn't get promoted because they're not politically correct, or if they're not a yes man, I would tell that individual to hang tough and keep doing what you're doing. And you shouldn't be, again, depends on the line of work. Should you be judged off your personality? I'd like to believe, like we're watching happen now, your promotion should be based off your merit, is the word they've been using, but your skill, your proficiency. Who cares what color, creed, nationality, personality? Who cares about any of that? Just the best person for the job. I got on that soapbox last time. Best person for the job. Come on. Why do we even need to keep stats? Like I'll share the same story. I just got my TSSCI clearance. It's a big deal. And I start getting emails like how many of each race in each billet. Like we have so many Hispanic generals, so many female generals. Again, who cares about any of that? The best person, best Marine, best airman, best soldier for the job is the one who should be promoted. The personality, again, does that have something to do with it, Heavy J? We need a sticker that says NBD. I missed it. Recently applied for the UK military and engineering. George, all right, get some. David Bryant. Nothing gets done with yes men. Yes men kill me. They really do, David. I'm telling you, that may be that is another pet peeve of mine. Matthew, CC, what's up? Time my 2-3 miles in. Trying to get you 2 to 3 miles in. Alex, no mal. Good evening, Sergeant Major. I'm at school right now, Pensacola. Curious what I could do now that I'm in MAT platoon, in a MAT platoon, or while in my class to help my career while you're in school. And what school is it? What's MAT? Martial arts training? That Pensacola was for aviation. But whatever you are doing in school, if you have time, I don't know the work schedule, the workload you have at school, but obviously PT as much as you can. But if you have time to take off-duty education, that's always a plus. But to help your career, right now, focus on your school. Graduate #1 in your school, definitely. Oh, Marines awaiting training. Oh, that's completely different. So Marines awaiting training. I never even heard it referred to that. MAT. Just that. PT. Start working on off-duty education. Depends on what kind of time you have. Do some community service. Look around, find out if there's something you could do. Aviation ordnance. So Matt platoon at Aviation Ordnance in Pensacola. Marines awaiting training is Matt J-Dub. Get college hours in right there, David Bryant. Get college hours in. There's always time, right? Find some college courses. You might have a little bit of difficulty though getting that tuition assistance because you're MAT. Not sure, but don't do it without your TA. Get tuition assistance first. Make sure you lock that on. And if not, just start studying. Take your own MCI courses. Again, if he doesn't have an admin yet, everyone, I don't know if he could actually officially be assigned those. So be prepared to do all those. In the meantime, PT, community service. Right, start learning about your MOS. Anything and everything you can. You have a million things to do. Okay, you just got to prioritize them and figure them out. Don't chill in the barracks. Don't hang out with the wrong crowd. Don't start drinking on the weekends because that's what everyone else is doing, and you got nothing else to do. If you haven't went to school yet, you're probably underage anyway. All right, so find the nearest gym, the base gym, start killing it. Meet some people, ask some questions, learn as much as you can about what you're getting ready to do. Right, knowledge is power. All right, Laser, thank you for saying I appreciate it. I shit you not, sir. I think we are on the same page in life. I lost my mom January. My condolences to you and yours. And condolences to you as well, brother. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, tough time. Our age, right? We talked about it before. This is the age of your life when that starts happening. J-Dub, so that's what he did. Pizza, beer, and education. David Bryant. Map platoon are in limbo. Can't do much but guard duty or mess duty, right? And I don't remember it ever being called map platoon, but yes, I remember when I went to engineer school, 3 months awaiting the class. 3 months. And of course, you get some salty Lance Corporal that's in charge of you, and he's trying to drill instructor you, and you're cleaning heads and working parties, guard duty, working parties, guard duty. Pretty much nothing. They're killing time. And then they eased up and started letting us go to the gym. Again, I didn't have anyone to tell me, start saving your money. Don't go out drinking. So I may have done a little bit of that. I wish there had been someone to tell me, go to the gym, get your nose in the books, get some community service, start saving money. That's what you should be doing right now. Start now. All right, Semper Fi Joe, J-Dub, knowledge. Read your basic training for Marine booklet. Yes, learn. Read books. Just read in general. When you're not watching the SFMF live, of course, right? You just ask questions here. These are the people that you need to ask. What could you be doing right now? So great question. Mr. Kevin says, what is SFMF? Tell him somebody. Jason Bender. Hello, tonight I had a sister that was in a military station, Missouri. She was supposed to go to Afghanistan in 2011, but she was discharged for some reason. Wow, that's interesting. And a long time ago. What does she do now? She get back in? Again, welcome back, everybody. It's been a while, but we are back. We're talking about, there you go. Thanks, David. Semper Fi My Friend, SFMF. And you're on SFMF Live. Mr. Kevin, hang out and see if there's something you enjoy. We are just a channel of motivated individuals trying to help each other, make each other better, right? Warriors, like-minded people. All branches of service, civilians. We have anywhere from high schoolers getting ready to go in the military and retirees with some great knowledge, and everybody in between. So hang out, contribute, and enjoy. Let's grow this channel. Let's grow this community, and keep each other breathing life into each other. That's what we're doing. Jared says Marine history and your green book. Yep. Keep memorizing general orders, military standards, anything and everything you can about the Corps while you're in that downtime. How's all the CC girls doing? Carrie Ann Marie. They're great. I saw 2 of them on here. Where are the others? One of them is working. I know she won't be here till later, but they're doing great. Thank you. Again, although we were traveling not for the best reason, but really one of the worst reasons, but we were all together, which is always great when you can do that when you have a big family. Exhausting and tiresome and a lot of emotions, but we were together as a family, so it was good. Thank you, Carrie Ann Marie. But the girls they're doing well. Mr. Kevin, oh, like the military. Yes, this is a military channel. Can we call it that? Can we level it that? It is, but it's all about keeping America great and learning as much from each other as we can. Heavy J says, past month and starting, dang it, I didn't read it in time. Learn other jobs within your MOS. He was aviation ordnance. Yeah, learn as much as you can about all the other jobs in your MOS as well. And higher levels, right? What does the platoon or section leader, I think they call them in aviation, call them sections, right? They're not platoons. Find out what everyone does and what you want to do as you progress through your MOS, where you're going after school. It's going to be hog. Now it is. Makes you use like a multi-tool. Multi-tools are awesome. Military, and then there's the Marine Corps. All right, Jared. I did see a meme. A buddy sent me a meme that it said, were you in the military? And I can't say exactly what it said because it's a rated PG channel, but he says, no, man, I was in the Marine Corps. So a little different. And you hear that when you talk to people. Yeah, I was in the military, way back in, well, when I was in the military, what did Marines say? I'm in the Marine Corps. When I was active duty Marine.
No, my friend.
No, my friend. Yes. Said, no, my friend. I'm in the Marines. Making the Marine Corps better through heritage, passing knowledge you've attained to the next generation. J-Dub, I'm telling you, that's what it's all about. Again, I have some knowledge of over 30 plus years of Marine Corps knowledge. What am I going to do with it if I don't share it? Right? It does me no good to keep it to myself. So anything I learn, and that's why when I learn on this channel, every live, I learn something new and just want to get it out there to everyone else. So you don't have to learn the hard way like us old timers just loved doing, learning the hard way. We don't want you to have to learn it the hard way. Dave Bryan says, I never knew that there was other branches. Hi, Jay. Bryce Wilbur, good to see you, brother. I'm lurking at work. Shh. Turn the volume down a little bit. Keep lurking, brother. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Jared, I have a cup of coffee that says, forget your college degree. I have a DD214, my favorite cup. That is a good cup. If you know, you know. DD214, proof of service. That just shows that you served and you're not active duty anymore. That's your documentation. Triplicate it, save it, put in your phone. It comes up. You need it often. Why is it anchors inboard if one gets, so if you do get an E-Globe and anchor, great one, Heavy J. Why anchors inboard if one gets the EGA tattoo? Again, I'm a little OCD when it comes to stuff like that. Anchors inboard, on our uniforms, our alphas, our dress blues, the blue dress, the anchors, you wear them on the collars. The anchor of the E-Globe and anchor must go inboard. Right, the one on your cover, goes forward. The one on the blue dress cover and the barracks cover, it goes to the left as well. Same one, the left one. So when Marines get tattoos of the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor, be wary, especially if they get it on one shoulder or the other, or one side of their chest or one side of their back. Anchors inboard. Make sure. Tattoo artists don't always know that. You say, I want this tattoo and I want on this side. Well, if you get on this side, you gotta flip it because the anchor needs to go inboard. Anchors inboard. And I had a Marine show up. This guy We had a Marine Corps birthday ball celebration. Great. I don't remember exactly which one, but he was an old timer, like in his 80s. Wore his blue dress uniform, looking sharp for 80 years old. He was a staff sergeant way back when. Nothing but combat decorations, Purple Heart, warrior. Again, 80 years old though. And I did notice his globe anchors, excuse me, on his collar were flopped. They were anchors outboard. And how do you tell an 80-year-old veteran that his uniform is screwed up? Well, you don't. You invite him to get a drink with you, make a head call with you, and then you just casually, oh, sir, let me fix that for you. And he was very kind and gentle about it, and just told him they were backwards. And on the other side of that, I had a lieutenant was in his dress blues, second lieutenant, looking sharp, big football player looking guy. He was cool. He was good. He was a good lieutenant. He had his on backwards. The Eagle Globe anchors were outboard. Oh, no. He didn't even have them on. And that was an easy one. That was just a whisper in the ear. Lieutenant, yes, you are all jacked up right now. You don't have your, I think it might even been his rank insignia. Go back to your room, square your butt away, and come back. And he was very gracious as well. Anchors inboard signifies the anchors are on board, meaning ready to roll, not outboard, meaning they're anchors away, as in port or stationary. Jared, full of knowledge. That may not be true, but that's what I was taught. That sounds pretty good. Again, that's something that somebody else was probably taught, and they're passing it along. Anchors inboard, anchors away, right? Anchors away means you're taking off. Or is it the other way around? We all know anchors go inboard. We don't care what branch that you served. We're glad to have everyone. Amen, David. End of the day, yes, we're still waiting on a Space Force. What are they called again? Space Force Guardians. Waiting on a Guardian. I don't think we've had one yet. Correct the F out of him. I was cooler with the older gentleman than I was with the lieutenant. I'll say that. Karen Marie said, I just want to say massive thank you to whoever gifted me the membership. I'm not sure who it was, but thank you. We don't know who it is also, Carrie Ann Marie, but we do appreciate when people do it. The memberships, again, it's been a week and a half and we haven't, and I apologize. That's on me. I was excited to tell you I'm going to start posting stuff, even myself in the community page. I didn't. Not for a lack of want, just for a lack of, and I don't like using time as an excuse, but it's been a pretty heavy week and a half. But yes, thank you, Carrie Ann Marie, for saying that. We don't know who the gifted ones go to. We wish we did. If you're here stacking, again, back me up on this. You can purchase those memberships. YouTube randomly selects who gets them. And we get comments like, I don't know who gave me this. And, you know, it's interesting, but thank you, whoever did it. Now they're checking out the channel. So maybe that's the whole idea of those gifted memberships, that it's someone who maybe stops in or out, watched a video or two, but somebody gave them a membership. So maybe they'll hang out. Maybe they'll continue the membership, right? We're thinking we hope it doesn't happen, but after the 30 days, all those memberships are probably going to disappear. We hope they don't. Hope it continues to build. So continue to tell everybody about the channel. And if you did receive one, that was from somebody else, not on the channel, not even us. And we can't choose who receives them. But just do right there what Carrie Ann Marie did. She said, thank you, whoever does gift them. Very cool, very generous. Awesome to see. Give one, URAH. You had another comment, so don't worry. Oh, other commitment. No, thank you, Carrie Ann Marie. But yes, this is our commitment also. All right. Butter bars are second lieutenants and 1 gold bar. Yes, the butter bar. Love them butter bars. Man, they most of them. Again, if they come in humble, knowing that they don't know anything about the Marine Corps except what they learned in OCS, If they know and they're open-minded and they come in just waiting to soak up some knowledge from the NCOs and the staff NCOs, awesome officers. They become awesome Marine officers. Salty Saxy, yut, raw, yut, kill. Good to see you, brother. Glad to have you. How's everything? Awesome. Good to see the whole crew. You guys are amazing. Have a lot of useless knowledge. Jared has a lot of, well, yeah, when you're that old, Jared, that's where you get all that knowledge from. So I made you have hit 1 million on the short. Heavy J, you saw that? That was that short. Remember, I asked everyone to try and watch it if you hadn't yet, but it did hit 1 million. Heavy J, thank you. Appreciate that. That was awesome. And before the 2-year mark, it still says 1 mil created 1 year ago. It's, I think next month will be 2 years, so it'll change. We wanted to hit that 1 year. Ray, 1775 Marine Corps. Good to see you, brother. In formation. Life is moving forward, Salty, and ain't no better way to put it right there, brother. You know we're here for you. You know we love you, so we hope everything's going well. And you can't stop time. We realize that. So hang with us. We need to connect again soon, Salty. See where everything's going. How about that truck? Is your truck still running? Right. Look at the old Salty. Good to see you, David. When you get your EGA, do you wear it on your uniform or keep? Oh, that's a good one, Carrie Ann Marie. So in boot camp now, the crucible, and it's been like 20 years now since they added the crucible, and they get handed the Eagle Globe and Anchor on top of Mount Mother and Parris Island. Where do they do it? After a long hike, I'm sure, as well. Yeah, how do they do that in Parris Island? When you get presented your Eagle Globe and Anchor. So what do you do with that, Marines? That the Crucible Marines, what did you do with that particular Eagle Globe and Anchor that they handed to you on top of the Crucible? Do you wear it? Do you keep it for safekeeping? Um, I think now, knowing what I know and what memorabilia I have and how I like to look at it and observe it, I think I would save that one, not wear it, and end up framing it or doing something with it for I love me room once you get up to that level where you have where you put all your stuff. That's a great question. I have to ask USMC Cece what she did with hers as soon as she comes on. Did she show up yet? I need to find out where she is. It's a great question. Old girl's up and running. Thank God. Good on you, Salty, keeping that baby running. Love trucks. So, and I have a 2000 truck that we got from the Smith family. We haven't seen the Smith family here in a while.
Shout out to James.
Shout out to James. And then Alan just got promoted to major, right? Congratulations to the whole Smith family. Can't wait to see you guys again soon, too. But we have a 2000 truck. It's been some work, a couple of accidents here and there. We've done a lot of work to it, but still kicking. Over 200,000 miles. I don't remember what exactly. But I have, and my other truck, a Silverado as well, 2019, getting ready to hit 100,000 miles on that baby, and it's still running strong. All right. Boar asks, was I an honor grad? I was, Boar, this series honor, man. I got beat out at the company competition level. So what did USMC Cece do? She got company honor, man, just to outdo me. She was a company honor grad. Before my time too, Jared, Crucible didn't exist in my Marine Corps. We were hard enough without it. We talked about that in one, and don't get me started. Well, look who's here, John McJunkin. Good evening to you, John. Where have you been? You owe us a whole lot of burpees. I know that. We've been missing you. Hope everything's all right. Give us a little update on what you and your crew has been up to. It's been a little while. Crucible is way after my time. Yes, David. All right, here we go. Matthew Ashkin. When I did the Crucible, we still had 4 weeks left. Wow. I guess so, huh? That's second phase. 4 weeks before we received the EGA. I think it had less impact because of that. So when you finish the Crucible, that's not when I thought that's when they handed you the whole ceremony and everybody's crying. Did Chris have 4 weeks left before we received it? John, man, brother, we'll definitely be praying for you. Hope you're not in any pain. I don't know enough about cancer. I just recently learned that a friend of ours has it too, and he is in pain. So if there's anything we can do, John, we'll be praying. We'll send our motivation. I hope the rest of your crew, I know you got a big community around you, close to you physically, or your community online. So whenever you can get online, we're here for you, brother. Hang tough and fight. And that term F cancer, I'm with that. So God bless you, brother, and good luck. Let us know. Let us know what we can do. 30 minutes in, we're still Lima Charlie. Thanks, Heavy J. What was your favorite thing about being an engineer? Asked Bora. I love the engineer community. I was, most of you know, waiting on JT to show up. JTB, combat engineer. I loved it. I loved it because it's a big array of stuff. Can ask a producer. I get kind of bored pretty quickly. I can't be doing one thing forever. Hence the need for me to be a first sergeant and a sergeant major so I can change MOSs and go to different areas and geographic locations and work in motor team maintenance company, and then the infantry, and then the air wing. That's what I loved about the 8999 community. But what I did love about the engineers was that as well. You can go into construction, destruction, explosives. I mean, it's a big. We had bridging back then too. They don't do the bridging like they do now, but we actually have bridging companies. So you can be in a bridging company, in a line company where you're doing nothing but destruction or construction. So I really did like it. I just didn't want to do it forever. That's all. Prayers up. McJunkin says, I need to have 6 polyps in my lungs. Polyps in my lungs removed. 6. Wow. Thank you, and the Cece family and the SFMF family for their thoughts and prayers. 6 polyps. 6 polyps. Crazy. McJunkin, again, we got you. Everyone, please, on here. A little prayer tonight before you hit the rack. John, we got you, brother. Right there, look at Carrie Ann Marie. Keep fighting. Keep smiling. Love and light from the UK. Awesome. Thank you, Carrie Ann Marie. JTB, there he is. Just talking about engineers. Engineers up. Yeah, I loved it. And we always had friends in the field because the engineers are the ones that can build you card tables, benches, picnic benches, foot lockers, all the cool stuff that you need. In the Desert Storm was just amazing what these engineers can do. I was never that good of an engineer. And as soon as Lake Cookie shows up, he'll tell you. We had a gym. We ended up calling it the Flintstone Gym, and it was an entire. Everything was built out of wood. Couple cables. We had cable pull downs that these engineers, some of the guys we had on our team, built every possible like a gym that you go to now, a state of the art gym, but it was all built out of wood nails and some cables, a couple steel plates here and there, but pretty amazing what an engineer can do. Adam East out at dinner, but drop by for a like. Thanks, Adam East Guns. Good to see you, brother. Enjoy your dinner. Thanks for stopping by. Love this community, right? Man. Did you serve, Gordon? Yes. Most of us on here did serve. Still serving now in this channel. That's how we serve. Thanks, Ray. John, you're in Ray's prayers as well. Prayers up. Look at them all. You guys are amazing. Old Jyrene, good to see you, brother. How are you? How's things been? Old Jyrene, you've been UA. Burpees. You owe some burpees. John has a buy right now, burpees. We're praying for him. Old Jyrene, how you been? Always thinking about you, John. We miss you and your crew. Tell your crew that we say hello and we're praying, brother. We love you and we'll continue to keep my prayer works, everyone. Prayer works. Please, please. You got this. Look at Jarhead. Jason, good to see you, brother. Yes. Gordon, appreciate that. Hang out, brother. Did you serve, Gordon? Appreciate you saying that. Man, see, a lot happens, man. You can't stop time. Time keeps going, and that's why we always got to be there for each other. We talk about the buddy checks. I have it on my wall right now. I'm making a buddy check as soon as we get off here after listening to John, his strength and power. The friend of ours, a great longtime coach. I can't wait to talk to him tonight, right after this live. There is. Look at John, nailed it. Blessed to know such caring and compassionate people. And here's how we know each other, through this channel. This is the community that the producer had in mind when we started talking about it years ago. And it's coming to fruition. So God bless you all. Appreciate you. Gordon's 15. Always wanted to serve. Not yet. You can't, Gordon, but hang out with people like that are on this channel. I'm telling you, we have from high schoolers to old gyrenes who've been there and done that and can help you, guide you in whatever direction that you're thinking about going. So hang out here. Great one, Heavy J. Nailed it right there too. Pray during times of triumphs, not just in the time of sorrows. Talk about it like you put God on a shelf when you think you don't need him, right? You're in combat. God, please get me out of this. Please get me out of this. Boom, you get a firefight. You have an attack, and everyone gets back safe and sound. When you're heading back to your base camp, you put God back on the shelf. Forget to thank him. Pray always. Good times and in bad times. Heavy J nailed it. That facts, 100% facts. You need to always in front of your mind. Gordon, I hear you, brother. Can't because I had a heart disease in the past. Sorry to hear that. So how do you continue to serve? Serve anyway. Support, 100%. You have the heart. No pun intended. You have the heart to serve and to give. Continue to, 100%. There are just as amazing support personnel on all these bases as there are active duty personnel. So you can still serve. Jared's telling John McJunkin, I would encourage you to go look up White Cross, Your Mind. It's a Christian metal band from the 80s. It's an inspirational song. Oh, it's just a song. It's one song. White Cross, Your Mind. Christian metal band. Check it out. I'm going to check it out too. John, just remember, anything is possible for Marines, including getting well. Amen. Carrie Ann Marie right there. I'm not military, but best friend is, he's first sergeant, and you have always made me feel welcome. A great community. That's everybody here. Carrie Ann Marine. Love it. We got you, Gordon. Hang with us. John says, good thing if there's something good from had this procedure done was I was completely out. Looking at the work the surgeon did is amazing. Pretty amazing what they can do. And interesting, the friend of mine that just recently was diagnosed with it went in for different reasons. He just wasn't feeling well. And he's an athlete, again, longtime coach. He's built in good physical condition. He is in his late 60s, early 70s. But he was just going in to find out, hey, I don't feel well. Something's going on. Did a couple of tests, sent him home, brought him back, said, hey, we need to look at something again. And that's when they found it. So they found it in time. So hopefully it's all good. I'll update y'all as I find out more. So in second, what years were you on the drill field? 92 to 94, right? 94, 96. 94, 96. Stacking 2 years, still a 2-year duty back then. 94 to 96, did 8 cycles, 7.5. 8 cycles, 94 to 96. The big red one, Bravo Company, era. JTB, he was there. Thrashed him, he was nasty. Had to get him in shape. Just kidding, JT. Gordon, don't be afraid to ask. I'm telling you, anything. Old school. Yeah, stacking. It was a little while ago, a couple years ago. And man, I'm telling you, I remember, we all remember boot camp. And I remember being a drone instructor, the same memories. 6 years after I enlisted. Uh-oh, do the math. Where Jared's going to try and do the math. Like most Marines, I think after graduating boot camp, I'm going to be a drill instructor one day so I can thrash these guys like I got thrashed. And that's what I did. There you go. Keep getting after it, Gordon. Play guitar, and this is my channel. I try, but I'm not so good. You only get better in time. One of our daughters taught herself how to play the guitar off of YouTube. So keep getting after it. Bravo, 10/30, 2005. 2005. Good on you. 20 years stacking. Awesome. I'll say that I'm living every day as though I'm on borrowed time. That's it, John. Okay. Positive attitude. Positive attitude. You have a great community surrounding you. So we're living it with you. Matthew, have you seen any content from Vet TV? I just did. Interesting. Funny you say that because I've heard about it and people told me about it. You need to watch this. You need to watch this. I just watched one on, it caught my attention. I was thumbing through like most of y'all do. Shorts is my attention span, but I saw this one. There's a drill instructor on the cover, and I can't remember his name, like Frenchie or something. 12 years, staff sergeant. He was a drill instructor, did 4 years on the depot, did his 3 years, very successful. It seemed pretty hard charge. A couple of videos of him. But he was describing what it was like to be a drill instructor. And his story was different. He ended up getting forced out, had problems with his ex-wife. But the part he was describing being a drill instructor, I really liked. He articulated it well. And he was talking about, because someone asked, knowing now what you know, do you miss it? Would you do it again, being a drill instructor? And he said that the immediate response is always, oh, hell yeah, it was good to go. Good to thrash them. But if you stop and think about it, and some Marines do multiple tours on the depot, but you only do one, like the first one. Second one, you're probably senior by then. You'll be the series gunny or the first sergeant, or you might even end up at DI school. But that first intense tour as a drill instructor, and I did all mine on as a working drill instructor, working hat, they called it. The 3-year tours, they start making the quota mandatory. So you have to do a year at the pool, a year at PT, a year at academics. But 2 years straight as a working drill instructor in the trenches, is what they call it, is pretty intense. And he talked about things that those aren't your boot camp stories, how your feet are just killing you because you're on them for so long. And you buy your core frames, learn this the hard way, a size too big. So you can wear an extra pair of socks. You don't even tie them tight because you're walking so much. And those core frames aren't comfortable. You find a way. I used to wear PT socks and then my black socks just to try and stop them blisters. But you're on them 20 hours a day, right? 18 hours a day is normal. And you walk everywhere you go. So people don't often talk about how bad your feet hurt. And then just your back and your legs just from standing up so much. The headaches that you get down there, and I don't get headaches that often. I really don't. I don't remember the last time I had a headache. But on the depot, these are some intense headaches. I remember it felt like a plate in my head, and it was always just one side for some reason. Boom, and like I could feel it. I could feel my heartbeat in my skull. That's the kind of headache that you get, and the only way to relieve it is to keep yelling. That was the crazy part about it, because as soon as you stop yelling, that's when you feel the pain, and it's just pounding all over. So you'd have to yell some more. And then your throat. My voice, I don't think, has ever been the same from yelling for 2 years straight. And yes, the lemon and the honey, and you drink the stuff and you do all those things, but it's vocal cords are destroyed from yelling for 2 years. So again, when you think falling asleep, falling asleep walking, falling asleep. You sit down for a second, you're falling asleep. Fall asleep with your eyes open. The things that you go through, and the lack of sleep. That was the intense one. And he had it on his phone. We didn't have cell phones, barely even had computers when I was a drill instructor. But he tracked every day, and he was just going through a couple different days, couple different weeks. He's like, "Yep, look at this night. I got 4 hours of sleep. That was a good night." Oh, look at two days later, I got 1 hour of sleep. Yeah, I remember that. Oh, look at that, 48 hours no sleep. That's the kind of stuff that drill instructors go through that you don't, those aren't fun stories. Those aren't funny stories, but that's the life of a good drill instructor, right? And it's all for the right reason. It's very, very rewarding what you see, what you get delivered to you. And don't get offended, civilians, but you take these nasty civilians and you turn them into basically trained Marines in 3 months, right? So you get some kids, 18 years of no training, no leadership, no parenting. They got all kinds of bad habits, and you're trying to make them a Marine. 3 months is not a long time. You get the studs, the athletes that were raised by a military family or just good parents. They got half it done already. You just kind of got to hone it and teach them the Marine Corps life, lingo, culture. Those are a little different. So a platoon of 90 recruits, you have one extreme to the other, right? And all the while, you have a family and you have a life, right? Summertime, you're doing a cycle, they call it 3 months a cycle, and the summer's busy, so you graduate on a Friday, you get Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you start picking up again. Tuesday, kind of get back into it. The winter, you sometimes, I think the longest break we had was 10 days in between cycles. But during those 10 days, guess what we did? PFT, rifle range, annual training that we didn't have a chance to do. I'm telling you, it's intense. Really is intense. And this guy nailed it, the way he articulated it. All right. So, Vet TV. That's the only video I've ever seen of Vet TV, but I do want to check it out. Again, I talk about our battle rhythm here. We're still finding it. We're still finding it. We got a lot of things going on. CC number 4, right? We're waiting on some news from her from the colleges that she applied to. That's been pretty intense, right? Pretty stressful. She just found out she did get awarded a scholarship. I don't want to say small, like $1,000, but there's so many scholarship high schoolers. There's so many opportunities for scholarships. You don't have to take a loan out. You don't have to pay for college yourself. Take the time, do the work, apply for as many scholarships as possible. Worst I can say is no. They say yes, that's free money towards your education. So go for it. All right. So on second says there's a former drill instructor that did an interview with the Vet Channel. First Sergeant Randall Parks. He has to be one of the funniest dudes around. I think he was Marsoc. He was a Marsoc Bubba. First Sergeant Randall Parks. Let me write that down. Let me check it out. First Sergeant Randall Parks. Interesting. Again, different takes you hear from drill instructors, and especially when drill instructors get in a little circle and start talking about it. Of course, you try and outdo each other, and you tell the funny stories, the intense stories, the stories, but they're good. But to see someone, that's why I liked how this guy, again, his story was a little different because he got forced out. But the portion he talked about being a drill instructor was pretty intense. Gordon, awesome. Every time I see a veteran, I always say thank you for your service. And I've heard this before. Some people have even asked me, do you mind if I tell you thank you for your service? I said that to someone one time and they got offended. I'll be the first one to tell you, it's humbling when people do it, but I absolutely enjoy it and I thank them. And when it's someone around the same age or of service age, I always ask them, are you serving? And I sometimes I feel bad, like, oh, thank you. Did you serve? But I just want to know so I can say thank you to them as well. All right. You got to hear a story. So I'm going to check it out, Stack, and I can't wait. Old Jyrene says, my SDI stayed in the Marine Corps to become a sergeant major. He was on the drill field in the early 90s. You're in good company, or maybe I'm in good company. All right. Oh, Jairi, I appreciate it. I'll tell you the same thing. And my reenlistments were, and everyone has different reasons, but I told myself as a young Marine before I met the producer, if I ever reenlisted one time, I'm staying in for 20. And then after my first reenlistment, I never wanted to get out. I was like, this is it. This is my life. I'm staying in. Heavy J says, did you get promotion to have what do I do now moment? Did you get a promotion? So any time throughout my Corps did I get promoted and say, man, what do I do now? I don't remember right off the bat. I do remember again my drone instructor, my senior drone instructor. For some reason, in boot camp, this stuck out in my head that you always got to train 2 ranks above you, and I heard it throughout the Marine Corps. And I think I even kind of took it to heart. Like when I was a lance corporal, I couldn't wait to be a sergeant. Nah, you got to be a corporal first. They kept saying, slow your roll. But I would, and I would think about it, man, when I'm a corporal, I'm going to do this. But when I'm a sergeant, so I did. So I can't remember any right off hand, Heavy J. And I told this story before when I did get promoted to first sergeant, I got frocked to first sergeant, and I was going to the infantry. That was one of those moments like, holy, you know what? Going to the infantry. I just left a maintenance company, easy with less than 100 Marines, to an infantry company, 220 Marines, combat hardened Marines, right? My last combat was Desert Storm, then Somalia. So it had been a few years since I was in combat. I was going to 2-5, the most highly decorated infantry battalion in the Marine Corps at the time. So I was a little bit of, oh, here we go. But it was good. It turned out great. Oh, Jaireen says, when I got out, I said, what the hell do I do now? Thoughts about Sergeant Major that got busted down for wearing awards he didn't rate. That came up. We talked about that one a little bit. I was a loss for words and a little embarrassed because he was a fellow sergeant major. So somebody should have just slapped the taste out of his mouth. Why would you do something like that? Again, we talk about stolen valor. Usually stolen valor that you see is someone who never served, buys a uniform at Saigon Sam's to get free stuff. That's your typical stolen valor. And they're not wearing it right. You can tell, ask them 2 questions, and they're not really service members. Sometimes they have mental issues. That's a different kind of stolen valor. This dude knew better. 100% knew exactly what he was doing. Did it purposely to gain what? What did he get out of it? I'm glad he got busted. I'm glad he got found out. He was wearing awards just like what's the name we talked about? The Army Special Operations guy. What's the name? Producer? Stolen Valor. What's the name with the 50 hand grenades in one backpack? What's the name? Somebody help me out. Yeah, she's doing something over there. So my thoughts on it: piss poor leadership. Tim Kennedy. We're talking about Tim Kennedy, Special Operations, Green Beret, OC, and his made-up stories. Absolutely another type of stolen valor. Tim Kennedy, yes, thanks, Heavy J, Jared. So that's completely different. Again, I think I would dog a guy on the street wearing a uniform and claiming to be. I would. And you see some get pretty nice. Take that off right now. My friends died in that uniform. I don't know how crazy I would get with someone pretending to be a Marine that never was. First, again, I'd want to find out why they're doing it, if they're mentally ill. Right, the one in the airport, this guy, his son was a Marine, and he had nothing else to wear. He was wearing it to get free stuff. So they obviously have bigger problems or bigger issues or something, but definitely that is 100% wrong, and they should be charged. But the active duty guys that do it knowingly and willfully, burn them all the way. There's no excuse whatsoever. I remember receiving an award, and first time, go ahead and wear that. You'll get the certificate later. I wouldn't even wear a NAM or a good conduct medal or overseas service deployment star until I saw it in writing. And as a sergeant major, he knew better. 100% knew better. You don't wear it unless you have the certificate and it's in your record book. So he's full of crap, and I'm glad he got caught. That's my thoughts on it. In case you don't know where I'm coming from. McJunkin. Not to put you in a bubble here, but any thoughts on the new Secretary of Defense and the changes that have been implemented? Any other changes on the way? John McJunkin, I'm pretty happy about every change that has been made so far, to be perfectly honest. I'm excited about the new Secretary of Defense. I don't watch regular news. I watch some shorts and some stuff on YouTube, and I'm pretty excited about all of it. I feel safer now. I feel like I can kind of relax a little bit. I'm not scared for my family anymore. And my mother, God bless her soul, she was here when it happened, when the new regime took over, and she was kind of on the fence. She didn't really know. She didn't understand. She watched the news, which was the problem. So she didn't know what to believe. But I'm glad she got to see part of it, because I think we're headed in the absolute right direction, and I like it. Excuse me. 100%. J-Dub, I was wearing my Desert Gore-Tex. I missed it. It went too fast, but I love that Desert Gore-Tex. And that's an item that you can wear off campus or off base if that's what you're getting to. Ain't nothing stolen valor about that. That was a good parka, is really what it's called, for the rain. And those were awesome. Danny, thank you for your service. God bless you. Question for you. Do you have any experience with the Australian military? I do not. Saw them in Desert Storm. I think I even saw them in Somalia. I don't know enough about them, though. Always seem like any other countries I see right off the bat, they look pretty squared away. I think they send their best to combat, as you would expect, as everyone does. So, I don't know enough about them. Big Arm, good to see you, brother. Just dropping a thumb and saying hello. Good to see you, brother. Thank you. Double tap, everyone. Double tap. Like and subscribe. We'll talk about memberships here in a little bit, but good to see y'all. Again, those of you who don't know, if you see a name in green, is it green for everybody, or is it just me? If their name is in green and there's a blue star by their name, that means they are members. $1.99 membership, cheap. It's for 30 days. That changes the color of your name, gives you a blue star. And if you continue after 3 stars, the color of your star will change. That will let everyone know how long you've been a member. And we haven't done a whole lot for memberships yet, but again, we're getting our battle rhythm. Don't get passed over twice. Officer talk. 3rd and 4th pass is common. Getting passed over at any rank, any more than 2, you can pretty much hang it up. There are rare cases where you can get passed for promotion twice and still get promoted, but it happens. You hear me all the time. There's a waiver for everything, so check it out. I'm with you, Stacking. Seen some Australian Marines in Iraq, Afghanistan. Seem like good dudes. No issues whatsoever. Thanks, Heavy J. Awesome, man. I don't even want to say it. Like when you're in the field, they say, "Man, it hasn't rained all week. We've been in the field." That night, it's going to rain. So I won't talk about the channel and our audio yet. Oh, Tyrene, you're definitely lucky. Matthew Baxter, thank you for your service. What do you think of the 7th Special Forces Group training the Mexican Marines starting tomorrow? I'm worried a lot of Mexican forces are compromised by the cartels. I didn't know that, so thanks for sharing that. The 7th Special Forces Group is going to train the Mexican Marines starting tomorrow. I think that's going to be very interesting. And I look at it like this, Matthew. Same thing in Iraq and Afghanistan when they sent our ITTs, what they call it, small training teams, to go train the Iraqi soldiers. So a fire team of Marines, using officers, staff, and a couple of Marines, to train a platoon of Iraqi soldiers. Afghanistan, the same thing. 100% worried me every single time I sent Marines to go do that. Sending the sheep to the wolf house, the wolf to the hen house, whatever that saying is, because they're completely outnumbered. Was my thought always, like, is that even safe to do? Never had a bad incident. Were there crooked Army soldiers, Afghanistan or Iraqi soldiers, Afghanistan? Yes, 100%. So you got to be extra vigilant. And I think Marines by now know better and won't be put in a situation where that could turn bad. I think it's great for the Mexican Marines. I think it again. I'm optimistic. I think it's necessary. At the same time, do I think some of the soldiers are corrupt? Yes, 100%. As are the Mexican police. The cartel has a huge hand in everything, so it's going to be tricky. I think the Marines are the best one to do it, though, without a doubt. I just missed that when I wanted to. Can you read that with the rebel flag? Send the Marines back to Mexico City. Again, everything that's happening at the border. I did a short. I don't know if I ever posted it when they first sent Marines to Otay Valley, right? The very first 500 Marines out of Camp Pendleton to the southern border. 100%. What better way to help secure that border? There it is, Johnny Rebel. There's an age range, and they said it's 28 years old is the limit. So, Johnny, excuse me, great question. There is a minimum and max age for all the military. It's like 17 to 28. However, there's a waiver for everything, meaning don't let that age waiver stop you. If you're 29 years old, apply. Get with the recruiters, put in a waiver, be highly physically fit and mentally tough, and be ready to answer any questions, pass any tests that they can throw out at you, because we had a 34-year-old Marine graduate boot camp. So it's possible. So go for it, Johnny. You can do it. McJunkin says, are you up to answering some questions from these young Poolees, JRTC cadets, and young Marines? Yes, that's how we miss them, McJunkin. Everybody loves those questions. So please, if you're up to it, let's go. We do. We've been missing you guys, John. So we want to hear them. Damn, sound off. David Bryan, I think you're right. Old Jyrene. You know, with the name like that, you know he's an old Jyrene, got some good stories. Some leadership stories. Some leadership stories. And leadership was a little different back then. Back to whoever said, let's make what was it? Tough being cool again. That's in the services also. The DEI in the military. Nobody talked about that. That's a little touchy subject as well. Is there DEI in the military? Yes, there has been. And no, it's not a wrong place for that. Doesn't belong in the military. Best Marine for the job. Best soldier for the job. Period. You funny old farts. Ain't that the kettle calling? I was like, dang it. I was like, oh, ain't that the pot calling the kettle black? Jared, I think Jared's the oldest one here. Hog. I'm with you on that, brother. I just don't like Marines doing CONUS operations. But our oath states, we're here to defend all over, anywhere, 24/7. I hear you though, and that is a little tricky. It seems like why are Marines fighting on our border? But again, foreign and domestic, we're fighting on our border. So again, whatever it takes to get America where it needs to be. But I hear you.
Ray just gifted 10 memberships.
Ray did?
Yeah.
Ray just gifted 10 memberships. Thank you, Ray. Man, how come it doesn't show up on there? Thank you, Ray. Semper Fi, brother. And again, those you who did? Those you that receive those memberships, that's from people like Ray from Queens. Thank you, brother. God bless. Stacking DEI shouldn't belong anywhere, in my opinion. Agree 100%. And again, I know it's a lot of controversy right now, but get it out of everywhere. Get it out of people's mouth, period. Best person for the job. Yeah, hey, Banana just got a membership. Yeah, nice. Thank you. That was from Ray. That happened that fast. That was from Ray. Annie Banana, you better thank Ray for that one. How cool is that? All right. We forgive you, Jared. He's still on the BlackBerry, old timer. Heavy J says, Sergeant Major, if you got the call to secure the border with deuce gear, would you answer the call? Heavy J, I've been waiting for that call every day, all day. The calls that I get that I don't recognize the number, I want to answer it because I think it's them. They're calling me. They need me back. Yes, I would. 100%. Anywhere. I would go back. 100%. Do I miss it? Yes. And like people say, I don't miss the circus, but I definitely miss the clowns. 100%. I would. All right, here we go. From a Poolee, Giegas asked, is it necessary for arriving recruits to have to bring at least one luggage or bag with us if we don't, if we won't be using them at boot camp? Yes, it is. And well, yes and no. 100% on you because you're going to leave boot camp with a clothing bag, with a sea bag and a ditty bag. And sometimes there might be more stuff that you need to be. So personally, me, I would answer no, you don't need an empty bag, empty luggage. All that's going to do is cause the drill instructor to have to store it somewhere. When I went through and a lot of these old guys like Jared and old Jarveen, we went with nothing because there was no cell phones back then. I don't remember anything that I had. I can't even remember. I'm pretty sure I must have brought my wallet or a wallet or my ID card or something, but nothing else. They say bring an address book with addresses so you can write letters home. I went with nothing. And now everyone has cell phones. All your addresses are in the cell phones. I don't think you need anything. I did bring running shoes. That's a completely different story. But no need. They're going to give you everything you need during boot camp and a way to get it home after boot camp. Jared might be younger than old Jyrene, maybe. Slight pause and pops at the audio still. Uh-oh. All right. Appreciate it, Heavy J. Dave Bryan said, I arrived with my orders and the clothes on my back. Yes, of course I had my orders. I completely forgot about that. But that folder that you get at MEPS. So that was it. That's all you need. I'm with you. Because when you get there, you empty all that stuff out and you see videos where they got all kinds of weird stuff and pictures of their girlfriend and a pack of cigarettes and all that crap. None of it. You don't need any of it. USMC Vet, 38th like here. Thanks, brother. Good to see you. What all do you get boot camp like issued gear? Everything you need again while you're there. PT gear, shoes, boots, socks, underwear, t-shirts, your camis. Later on, what's like second phase, sometimes you start getting your dress uniforms, your service uniforms. Um, the hygiene gear, you get issued a set of hygiene gear, and as you use it, go through toothbrush, toothpaste, razors, shaving cream, you have opportunities to purchase more of that through boot camp. There's a recruit PX. So I'm telling you, there's nothing you need to bring that they don't supply for you or you have an opportunity to buy. So even when you tell your family, write you, just tell them to write letters. You don't need Geedonk, candy, food, letter writing gear. I would ask my family to send me letter writing gear just so I didn't have to buy it. But at the same time, the PX had some cool letter writing gear at San Diego. I don't know if it's still there. Had a couple pictures of MCRD San Diego. Had the logo on there, so I like to use theirs. Only got to bring the moto. Gunny Sarnt, Adam East. That's what you need. Positive attitude, mental toughness, physical fitness. That's all you got to bring. Yeah, I like that. What was your MOS? I was a combat engineer, 1371 era, before I was 8999. I finished out that couple alternate secondary MOSs. MCIWS, a swimmer. All right, Mike 7 Alpha wasn't an actual MOS number, but that's all the time I spent Bridgeport. I arrived in this world in the birthday suit. Later on, got teeth and hair. Heavy J. Do you have free time during boot camp? Great question, Chris. We don't talk about free time in boot camp. There is. There actually is. 1 hour a night. 1 hour every night, and then like 4 hours on Sunday. In the morning on Sunday, you get 4 hours, go to church or hang in the barracks. That's when we'd polish our boots, iron our camis. I know they don't do that anymore, but PT, I was the guy they used to have me practice a stick. That's why they convinced me not to go to church. Highly recommend you go to church in boot camp. But the 1 hour a night is for letter writing, letter reading and writing. And I told my family before I left, look, I'm going to write you once a week, but please write often. So tell your families that write you, they should write you a lot. And write to them once a week, because that 1 hour goes by quick in the evening. Goes by very quick. Maybe not so much now because you don't have to shine your boots or iron your camis. So that's 30 minutes, that 30 more minutes that you have. So use that to read and write letters, do some push-ups, do some pull-ups, and then get ready for the back. But 1 hour a night and like 3 hours on Sunday. Free time, yeah, people don't ask. Drill instructors don't mess with you during that 1 hour free time. Wink, wink. They don't. No, that's your time. Brasso, USMC vet. Remember that? Brasso. That's how you shined all your brass, right? Belt buckles and everything in your house. Poolee Cypher asks, what does it mean to my career in the Marines if I don't qualify for security clearance due to having had a couple of arrests when I was when I was in my teen years? First of all, great question. Anything that happened under 18, you can get it expunged, meaning it never happened. It'll be somewhere still for the rest of your life, but they won't use that for your security clearance later on. So, but
Also, if he's just honest about things.
but that's what I was going to say. But tell them everything, and they'll say, "When did you do that?" Oh, I was 14. Put it on there. Don't try to hide anything, but that won't affect your clearance once you're a Marine. Once you turn 18, once you're a Marine and your job requires it, or they put you in for it, don't worry about it, but definitely don't try to hide it. It shouldn't affect anything. How many hours a week did you work as a DI? Everything saw a story talking about DIs. Great question too, Gun. So every team works it different, but basically, and I think typically, here's how it works. As a new drill instructor, brand new from DI school, you graduated DI school, you take 10 days of leave, which is mandatory. Because once you hit the trenches, it's, you know what, to the walls. Mandatory 10 days. I didn't even want to take that 10 days because I was so excited to get started. I think I did cut it short, and I hung out at the depot just getting ready. But once you start as a new hat, Bob the new hat, they call it, you work every single day, every day. There is no schedule, 3 days on, 2 days off. You're working every single day typically. Once the senior drone instructor sees that you're about to die, he might give you an afternoon off. But you're working lights to lights. That means you're there before the lights come on and you're there after the lights go off. That's so you can learn everything there is to know about being a drone instructor. And every aspect, every issue, every incident that comes up, you know how to react to it. You learn the schedule. Man, the schedule is written like by the minute, right? If you're supposed to be at chow at 12:32, you better be there at 12:32, not before or after. So that's how the schedule goes. Big O in the house. Good to see you, Brian. So again, as a new hat, Bob the new hat, you're working every single day. You'll get an afternoon, morning off here and there. Mornings off are the best because you can sleep in a little bit. It all depends on your senior drill instructor. Hopefully he's good enough to recognize when you need a break. After you've completed it, and here's the test. Here's how you know you're done with your lights to lights, is when you're on duty in the squad bay by yourself. As a new hat, you have to stay with an experienced drill instructor or the senior. So there'll be 2 hats on duty. Once your senior sees that you got it, or even your J, your heavy drill instructor, sees, okay, Cece's ready to stand duty. And it depends on you. Could take you a whole cycle. Could take you 3 months before you can stand duty by yourself. It could take you 30 days. All right. The only thing with 30 days is you all you saw was first phase. So you need to do first phase, second phase, and third phase. So you might stand a couple nights on duty by yourself in first phase, and then once or twice in second phase, till you're fully fledged a working drill instructor that they can just add you in the rotation. So, man, I'm dancing around. I don't think there's a solid answer how many nights a week, how many days a week you work. It depends on what's going on. It really does. And how quickly you adapt to being a drill instructor. So, good question. But it again, 100% depends on you, your senior drill instructor, even the company, the series guns, how involved he is, right? Because every now and then I get a call. Hey, senior, I saw your hat. Man, he fell asleep. Walk in. When was the last time he had a break? And then you kind of just reassess. It's also what? Yeah, it was also 30 years ago. So maybe they're on the schedule now. Maybe they do work 3 days on, 2 days off. They better not be. Depends on how good of a drill instructor you want to be, how quickly you want to be off of lights. Because lights ain't no joke, right? Especially, and I lived in Oceanside, worked in MCRD. It was a 40-minute drive. So going home after working 18 hours was pretty tough. Man, I don't even remember some of them drives home. Mike Smith, good evening, brother. How are you? Old Jerry says, dang it, these days that got, Durglit, Durglit. These days that got brass, you don't need to shine. Kind of like core frames. Yes, right? You don't shine our boots anymore. We don't have to shine the brass. No more Durglit. Neverdole was the other one, right? Cleaning everything. Anything that shined in the squad bay, screws, right? You're Durglit in the screw head of the window and everything got Durglit in. USMC Vet Sergeant Major, what's your opinion on the USMC band? Real Marines? Absolutely 100% love the President's Own. That's the Marine band. President's Own is amazing. And they're amazing because they're musicians. Not all of them are Marines that went through boot camp. So my opinion on them, they know that they're not a real Marine infantry staff sergeant in the 0369. They're going to go to combat and learn how to run a weapons platoon because they're musicians. So it is a little tough to say. I'm with you. I think I know what you're getting at. They get to wear the staff sergeant rank. They're wearing the Marine uniform. They get Marine benefits like BAH, promotions. They get all those things, but they never went to boot camp. But they serve a different purpose. So I'm old enough and mature enough to realize it's a good thing because they're amazing musicians. They absolutely are. And they work hard. 365 performances a year. I think it was like 300. One year it was like 368 performances a year. That's more than there are days in the year. So they do some 2 and 3 a day performances. So they bust their butt. So I love the band. I'm a band geek from way back. So I absolutely love them. I think it's awesome. Marine bands in each unit, those are Marines that went through boot camp, earned their rank. So they're not all staff sergeants. So they're Marines. They do their annual training. They got to do everything that is required of them as a Marine, and they're a rifleman first. Being a band member is their second duty, and they're awesome too. These battalion bands, MCRD always has a great band, so they're awesome. So I love them. Some of you look and sound good on a 60-inch TV. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. Adamy says, the story I was talking about is the Washington Post. It's a good read. Sad and eye-opening. Is that about the drill instructor one? Still talking about that one? Old Irene says if they didn't go through boot, they're not Marines. It cannot be gifted. Amen. 100%. So again, you won't find a president's own member uh, trying to square away some Marines and trying to fake the funk. I don't know any of them. I've never even met anyone from the president's own, but I'm pretty sure that they know their place amongst Marines. I'd like to believe. Never heard any stories about it, any bad. This band guy tried to tell me. I've never heard anything like that. But I'm with you. They're called the President's Own, the United States Marine Band. They are called that. Their sergeant major rank is a little different, but everything else is pretty much the same, except they didn't go through boot camp. So I'm with you, old Irene. Some of the President's Own are old as hell, older than Jared. Right there. I think they are some old guys on it, and they are, and they're it's a staff sergeant, but they're professional musicians. Right? They have to have a showdown. But I want to believe again, leadership. It's leadership. It's leadership. It's leadership. I 100% everything revolves around leadership, and I'd like to talk more about leadership. That's how passionate I think all of us leaders are on here are. It 100%. You talk about mission success, mission accomplishment, and everything that the unit doesn't do is the leadership's fault. Everything that the unit does do, or everything the unit does bad, is a leadership problem. Everything they do good is the leadership problem. So 100% revolves around a leadership. And here, as a leader, you have to detach yourself and look at it. Again, do I have in the military, active duty, is morale low, right? Are the Marines, they get to a point where if a Marine's not bitching, something's wrong. That's how you look at it. Marines complain about everything, but for the right reasons. So if you continue to go at your leadership, this is wrong, this is wrong, this one, can we fix this? Can we fix this? Can we fix this? And they just continue to not, it's going to cause that Marine to stop going to you as a leader. So as a leader, if the Marines aren't coming to you with issues, you've lost them. You completely lost their trust and confidence. They're not going to go to you anymore. See that in the civilian community a lot. Experiencing it very recently. There are things that are you getting 1% better every day? That's how you got to look at your unit, your organization, your department. Is it getting 1% better every day? And I get it. There's times where you're gonna go even keel for a little while. Nothing's wrong with that. But when it starts going down, it's time to change. It's time to listen to some of those after action reports, those hot washes, those stand up meetings. Listen to them and saying, "I got it. I'll look into it. We'll address that." Those are all excuses and cowardly ways to say, "I hope they stop asking about that." That's the best. And then here's the problem, though. Some leadership are so self-absorbed that when their team stops going to them, oh, everything must be going great. They haven't complained about. No, they've lost trust and confidence in you that you'll get the job done. So that's why I don't bring it up anymore. That's why you don't hear any complaints. That's when you have to detach. In the civilian community, when good personnel leave, when turnover is high, and you have some great employees leaving, wonder why he's left. He must have a better offer somewhere, or he must be tired of this. Yeah, he's tired of the poor leadership, complacency, lack of leadership. All those things are reasons good people leave organizations. People don't leave bad units, they leave bad leadership. That's when you got to think, what am I doing that I could be doing better? What are we not doing that we should be doing? There's like a couple questions like that. They all kind of mean the same thing. What are we doing now that we could be doing better? What are we not doing that we should be doing? All those things your employees know, but you got to act on it. You got to execute on it. You got to find out about it, or at least follow up. Hello, transparency. I hear what you're saying. This is the research we've done. I've taken your input, right? What better place to get the input from the ones executing your orders? Here's what I come up with. What do you think? How hard is that? How hard is that to say, I hear you. And from my point of view, it doesn't look like it's that big of an issue, but is it? And then you can tell them. Then you act on it. Mr. Uncle Sam says, you're absolutely right, Sergeant Major. As an officer, good leader has to listen to his subordinates and fight for his unit. It disappeared, but fight for your unit. You have to fight for your unit. You have to fight for them. If you're afraid to go to the boss because you're afraid of what he'll say, excuse me, it's time for you to go. Your one sole purpose in life is to fight for your unit, fight for your people, fight for your department. That's why you're there. You're there for them. You are the buffer between them and the boss, them and the battalion commander, right? A good sergeant major will go to battle with that commander every single day for the good of the whole. That's where them yes men come in. Some commanders want yes men. This is how we're doing it, and this is how I want it done. Yes, sir. At the expense or on the backs, on the blood, sweat, and tears of the individuals performing the tasks. That's wrong, and that's poor leadership. You stand up for your men and women. You stand up for them. That's why you're there. That's why you're in a leadership position. Leadership is action, not position. Too many times they get to the top. Okay, I made it. I've been thrust in this position. That's DEI comes from. Now I'm in charge. Hey, look at me. Do something when you're in there. Your workload just doubled, if not tripled, now that you're in charge. It's not time to sit back. It's not time to relax. It's not time to enjoy the parking space you have in front of the unit. Now you work twice as hard. Please talk to your leadership about it. Get them on board. Get them to work. Get them to work for you. Execute. You got to execute. All right. Yes. Who got me on that? Fight for your team. Who said that? You got to fight for them. Somebody say Menachem. Is Menachem here? He must be. Old Jaireen's talking about it. You better be doing some burpees, Menachem. I was told we are Marines. We make do. Yes, that is. That's how we do it. Marines make it happen. Adam East, you love DC? Been through there enough times. I never worked there. I have a feeling there's a lot of bad leadership there too. So I do, producer. I put up with the bang. And Menachem is here. Good to see you, buddy. It's not that nice that Marines don't get as many hand-me-downs. I like that too. We do more with less. Puli Onyoru asks, my mom refuses to sign the enlistment in the Marines since she was divorced. It just moved. Divorced my dad, who was a Marine. I don't want to wait until I turn 18 in October of 2025. October's not that far away, but I hear you. And that's your mom. So you can respect her wishes for whatever reason, but maybe just try to remind her, get her on the channel and have her ask some questions here. The Marines have changed since her ex-husband, your dad, was in the Marine Corps. Times are different, completely different now with the new regime at the helm. It's going to be completely different, a different administration, a different Secretary of Defense, a good time to enlist now, a good time to join the services, 100%. So get her on board with that first, and explain to her why you want to be a Marine. And if you are 100% sure at 18 you're going to, it'd be better to do it with her blessing. So get her on board. Again, get her in the channel. Let her ask all of us some questions. We want her support. It took my family, my mom and dad, months and months for them to sign. I joined at 17 as well. And my mom did before my dad, actually. My dad was harder to convince. His brother was a Vietnam vet, my uncle, 3 tours, very bad PTSD. That's what my dad was worried about. So she has her reasons why, but you definitely would love to have her blessing and explain that to her. This is what your heart is calling you to do, right? Pray on it. and let her share that with you, and know she got to know at the end of the day, at 18, you can make that decision on your own, but you'd love to have her blessing. All right. Hurrah. Thanks, Heavy J. Poolee, that's what gives you time to train up. Respect your mom's wishes, but let her know. Yeah, this is what your calling is, to be a Marine. I enlisted in the Marines. Will I get some of my college paid? If so, how much do I have to serve before I benefit? Because I want to enlist, get experience as a enlisted Marine, and then commission. Uh, Bandy Lord Gaming, 100%. That is a path that a lot of Marines take, and you absolutely can. And all your college will be paid for. Tuition assistance while you're enlisted, get your credits, you earn your degree, and then apply for the green to gold enlisted to officer, officer commissioning program (OCP). There's a number of ways to do it, but that's a great path to choose, 100%, and you can. Birdman 357. Good evening, Sergeant Major. I'm finally in the fleet. So far, so good. All right, Birdman, congratulations, brother. Welcome. Now you're in it. Now you're in it to win it. Good. Let us know. Keep us posted. Where are you now in the fleet? So you finished your MOS school, and not uh, what do they call the infantry training now? MCT, Marine Combat Training. You finished that. Where are you now? Osborne, I missed it. I saw it come up. I missed it. It's hard to get a paying job after the Corps. Um, is it hard to get a good paying job after the Corps? Another great question. Man, y'all are hitting it tonight. So that depends. Here's what generally happens. 4 years, the guys that do 4 years and get out, they try to go back to school. And I hope they all do, and it works out well for them. 4 years goes by quick, first of all. So if you do 4 years and get out, you don't have a whole lot of experience if you want to go into something, a high paying job. You can start right back at the bottom. No, you have to start at the bottom even after 20 years. But now you have a lot more experience to know exactly what you want to do. You had, after 20 years, you would have been through a lot of classes that give you college credits. So if you didn't get your degree in those 20 years, shame on you, because you could have, but then still get your degree. So I don't think that's a yes or no question. That's on you and your drive and your determination. If you're in communications, that's your MOS, and you want to get a job as an IT somewhere later, then yes, all that Marine Corps experience will definitely help in the long run. Motor T, same thing. You want to be a mechanic when you get out. Aviation mechanics, you're going to be much more desirable as a Marine right off the bat. So between you and a high schooler straight out of high school, you'll get the benefit out of being hired because you have that discipline. All branches, they know that you've committed yourself for 8, whatever, 12 years, better likely chance to get that job. So it definitely helps. Man, a lot of questions flying by. I apologize if the ones I missed. Finished leading Marines last week, says Birdman. This Wednesday, I'll start my gray belt. All right, there you go. Get after it, McMath, and keep going. They're going to tell you, no, only NCOs, green belt. Pressure them and push them. Black belts will want to help. They want to train you. Continue getting that belt up as high as you possibly can, all the way. My friend just passed the sergeant board, Menachem. He's getting to promoted March 1st. Good. Congratulations. Awesome. Keep getting after it. You better do it while you have the opportunity, because you blink and 20, 30, 40 years are behind you. It goes by quick. Made low six figures. David Bryant made low six figures. Houston with the PD and off-duty extra jobs. That's great. 6 figures is awesome. Nice, David. So you can. Yes. All the unemployed, homeless veterans you hear about, well, all for different reasons. I don't think that you can nail it down to just one thing. Who knows? Yes, please. So again, that's not a quick and easy answer. Yes, you can make a lot of money, but you can. Yes, you can. Everything you do in the Corps helps. Being able to say I did security overseas, yeah, absolutely. Benny says, why did you take the enlisted path instead of being an officer? And what job did you have and why did you pick it up? Great question, Bendy. Wow. Why did I choose enlisted? That's easy. I had no idea what I was going to do after high school. Nobody pushed college on me at all. Great, loving family, no complaints about my family when I joined. But college, I'm still now the first one to have a college degree. But it wasn't because of my family pushing it. Hard working individuals in my family. Mom and dad worked numerous jobs, full time, a lot of time on my own. But college wasn't in my future. I never even considered it. I played football in high school. I didn't do great in high school, only because I didn't apply. I passed everything and did what I had to do to get by. Again, there was no pressure to maintain high grades, to start college applications. And it's probably why we're pushing our kids so hard now, because it's something that I missed growing up. So the recruiter is the one that came and started talking about it. I don't even think he ever mentioned being anything about the officers or getting a degree or anything. So choosing enlisted was easy. Choosing the Marine Corps was easy. My dad made me go talk to the other recruiters. I was already sold, already brainwashed by the Marines because it was the toughest in the blue dress uniform, of course. Having said that, though, after being in for a while and seeing officers and learning what they do and seeing their paychecks were a lot higher than the enlisted, excuse me, I slightly considered it once or twice throughout my career. A few people, because you should be a warrant officer, you'd be a great warrant officer. Um, I loved what I was doing as an enlisted Marine way too much. I'd never been money driven, so that didn't spark my interest. Oh, I get more money. That never even crossed my mind. Um, and I just absolutely loved everything I did as an enlisted Marine and all the opportunities you had again to be a drill instructor, step into academy instructor, a water survivor, a McQuist, right? I wanted to continue to do all those things. And I didn't want to be tied down to one MOS. Officers, a motor T officer is going to stay in the motor T world. He'll do some schools and some colleges and a B billet. B billets are different for officers. You can, there are officers at MCRD, but they're not drill instructors. They're the OICs, which is still cool. But I wanted to be the drill instructor. I wanted to be the staff NCO instructor. I wanted to be the McQuist in the pool with the Marines. So those are mostly the reasons why I didn't want to be an officer. Um, Now, funny, on the other side, I want my kids to be officers. You know, USMC Cece is an enlisted Marine. She loves it, loves everything about it. I'm hoping later on in her career she does commission later, and that's for the retirement. She's been in long enough. She knows the difference between officers and enlisted. She absolutely loves being an enlisted Marine as well. Annie Benani, on the other hand, she's going the officer route right off the bat. So it's going to be an interesting take, and we're going to follow her career on here so we can get a great take from two Marines from the same family, the dependents of a sergeant major. One's enlisted, one's officer. So we're really looking forward to that.
We know why she's doing it.
The main reason, so her older sister has to salute her and call her ma'am. Of course, that's without a doubt. That's reason number, I don't know what number it is, but that's definitely on her list of reasons. But that's why I chose the path I chose. And it absolutely 100% no regrets whatsoever. Love being a retired enlisted Marine, 100%. Frank Hernandez, you were my instructor in sergeant's course, Okinawa, 1999. What's up, Hernandez? Wow. What do you, oh, now you're retired first sergeant. Good on you, brother. Congratulations. That's awesome. 1999 in Okinawa, the sergeant's course was a beast model. It was back me up, Frank, it was a PT academy. That's all we did. We just thrashed the students. And we taught you some stuff too, I want to believe. Look at USMC Cece. Not happening. We'll see. Frank, good to see you on here, brother. Thanks for being here. I'm telling you, it was a PT academy. Lots of running, right? Hightower was the staff into. I see staff sergeant Hightower was a beast as an instructor. I was like, oh man, I had to get my butt in gear because it was a PT academy. All right, those little quants and hunts. Were you still back there? Did you do that class? That was behind. I was out of sight, so nobody can see the thrashings we gave y'all. Lots of running. Doc Holiday, good to see you, brother. What's up, fam? Sorry, late for the party. Install a new door is harder than it looks. Looks easy on YouTube. Get after it, Doc. No worries. How do you feel about a second lieutenant being the boss of your rank or any enlisted rank? Another good question, Bendy. So again, it's a relationship. The boot lieutenant, right? The butter bar, the second lieutenant, you're a staff sergeant, you've been in 8, 10, 12 years, and you got some boot right out of college, and I'm in charge now and I know what's best for our Marines. A good lieutenant will realize that he doesn't know anything. He knows what the book taught him, and his OCS instructor, captain, said, "You are now Captain America and you're in charge." And that's a fact. That's true. But a good lieutenant will be like, "Hey, Staff Sergeant, again, here's what I learned in college. What did you learn on the battlefield? Let's put that together and give our Marines what's best for them." So personally, how did I feel about it? Couldn't care less. All it was he was making more money than me. And again, never been money driven, never bothered me, couldn't care less. It was about taking care of the Marines. So good lieutenants. And once Annie Benani comes, we're going to start talking more and more about it. I'm going to give her everything I got as a sergeant major to help her be the best Marine officer possible. And that's just it, being open minded, being transparent, knowing that you don't know, knowing what you don't know, right? That saying, you don't know what you don't know. Well, I'm going to tell her everything she doesn't know. And hopefully her first staff sergeant does the same. And you just got to be open minded as an officer. Captains, majors, lieutenant colonels, now they're in it. Now they know. They know to get with their staff and SEAL, their senior enlisted advisor, and create that marriage. It's your work wife, work husband. It's your work marriage that needs to be the best relationship in the world, so you can do what's best for the Marines. Right? Again, that's what I see out in the community, out in the civilian community. That I don't see what's happening right now. It's like they're two different, completely different people that they don't even talk. It's like, hey, communicate. Let's find out from the Marines. Let's be transparent. Let's talk about it out loud. Don't plan in a box. Take the blinders off, and let's see the entire picture before we make a decision. That's not happening. A lieutenant is like a puppy giving orders. Again, the good ones, the good lieutenants know that. All right, Poolie Mullins asks, my recruiter has not told me, but does the Marine Corps still have a survival course either in boot camp or later? Yes, we have survival courses. What's that main one called for pilots? SEER school. We still have a SEER school. We have even different levels of SEER school. Search, evade. Somebody help me out. What does SEER stand for? I don't remember SEER. What does it stand for? But that's the one where, yes, they drop you off in the middle of nowhere. I did mine in Bridgeport. They dropped you off and said, go, you get a head start, but we're going to come hunt for you. We're going to find you. We're going to trap you. We're going to tie you up. You better be able to evade us long enough. You make it to this day, you've passed. Jungle training, they do it in the jungle as well. And I happen to do mine in the snow, but it is survival training. You have to carry all your food. So you're going to run out. You have to learn how to trap and snare and get your own food and water, and pretty intense. If they catch you, do they beat the crap out of you? Depends on which SEER school you go to and who's in charge. Escape and evasion. Yes. survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. Thank you, Menachem. Yes, that's SEER School. We absolutely do have them. Yeah, I appreciate all of you. Help me out there. Thanks, Heavy J. I got you. Bandy, question. Is the field artillery being removed from the Corps? Because that's a job I want to do, but I don't want to join the Corps. Field artillery. I haven't heard that yet. I hope it doesn't go away. The cannon cockers are beasts, and you need them on the battlefield as well. So I hope it doesn't go away. I haven't. And don't transfer to the Army. Friends, don't let friends join the Army. Doc Holliday for the Marine Corps. Semper Fi. Thank you, brother. Awesome. Appreciate you. Always there for us. God bless you, Doc. Thank you, brother. Birdman, never heard of SEER. You gotta search for it. It's not advertised. It's usually for recon Marines and pilots because that's what it's for. If a pilot gets shot down, recon and snipers and those guys are out in the bush when and if they do get, and it's to teach you what to do in case you get captured. Right, that's the whole point of it. SEER School being able to evade and capture. So you do some research, Birdman, or pilots and high speed guys. Generally, the special operations guys, MARSOC, they're doing it. It's not just a quota. Yeah, I want to go to SEER School. It's got to be for a reason, right? Because they have to get all those pilots, crew chiefs, door gunners, all those guys have to have it. And of course, the special operations. So it'll come, Birdman. Keep your eye out and start putting the feelers out. Let your chain of command know. Let your chain of command know you want to go to any and every possible school coming up. Take them all. Scuba school, jump school. Jump schools are hardest to get to. Everybody wants to do it, right? It's cool to wear the jump wings. We don't fight like that no more. You're not going to jump into a combat zone and fight, but it's still being offered. They still do it. The dual cool guys get any of those quotas you possibly can. It's cool, and it does help your promotion, helps your career. You learn a lot just being in schools, right? You learn more. That's why I like teaching at the Staff and Chill Academy. I learned again a lot from the students. They come from all different MOSs, right? Nothing crazier than being in a classroom with 35 staff sergeants from 25 different MOSs. Awesome, awesome. You learn a lot from all the others. Randall, you are old school. Randall, good to see you. Good to see you, brother. Always happy to see you here. I'll do bends and thrusts instead of burpees. Love the bend and thrust right here. Right, whose drone instructor did that? You didn't have to say anything. You knew it, man. Bend, thrust. Who's that? Oh, Jyrene, thank you, brother. Super chat. Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate you. That's awesome. I'm telling you, this crowd, our community, love you guys. Appreciate you. Awesome. Old Jyrene. Old school. Randy Harder, do they still have Anglico? Yes, they do. Somebody tell us what Anglico stands for. The acronym Anglico, they work with their special operations. They work with the special operations guys. Get some old Jyrene. Old Jyrene, thank you. Look at, well, awesome. You guys are amazing. Doc inspired you. Two warriors right there. Love you guys. Guns, E says, I had a prior enlisted major who went to Ranger School. Wow. Prior enlisted major. Then went to Ranger School. Young Marine Brooklyn asks, does the Marine Corps use miniguns? I heard they can fire up to 4,000 rounds a minute. I don't think I'm not sure if we have miniguns. I know we just released, AR-25. I don't remember what it's called. I saw a short on it. We do have another machine gun. I think it's probably similar to the AR-15. I don't know what the specs are that made it new or make it better, but I don't think we have miniguns. We have some awesome weaponry, but I don't think we have miniguns. 4,000 rounds a minute. I would run out of rounds in half a minute. Air Navy Liaison. What is that? USMC vet. I know German jump wings, for example, are authorized. You can wear German jump wings. Any Marine service in good or your soul. Any Marine service in good area. They're in Florida. Air crew, Brockman, they're using helicopters. Miniguns are usually Army, Air Force, and Navy. So you're talking about the guns on aircraft. Are they called miniguns? The ones that sound like this, and then you're out of ammo. Yes, the aircraft and the ships have those. I just don't know what they're all called. Is that the GSG-9? Yeah, again, I'm not sure what all those guns are called. I remember the 120s, 120 millimeter on the ships. They let us shoot those at one time, and that's all. You're pressing the buttons, and a billion rounds come out at once. Pretty cool, and it sounds cool. If y'all have arms like Jesse Ventura, you can carry a minigun. That's ones I pictured. I pictured a little minigun like in the 40s with the big round. But you're talking the gigantic ones on ships and aircraft and stuff like that. We still have those. Heading off the base or two while on tour, what absolute must-haves you'd pack? Appreciate your insight. So if you're heading off base for 2 days while on tour, what are the absolute must-haves you pack? Appreciate your insight. Poncho liner. Never leave home without a poncho liner. For 2 days, you're going to while on tour. Money, cell phone nowadays, and a poncho liner. What else you need? Air Force chaplain friend who wears German jump wing. It's really weird, Menachem. I didn't think Marines could wear any. There are few authorized medals and badges, very few. Marines, again, we're real stingy on all the stuff we wear. We're not those, we don't wear a lot of crap all over our uniforms. We're very stingy with what we give out or what Marines earn and what we can wear on uniforms. So not a whole lot. I didn't think he could wear any other badges. I've never seen any. Randy Harder, what became of all the tankers? That's a good question. Does the Corps have tanks in supply depots? So remember, we got rid of the tanks. Where did all the tankers go? What MOSs did they go to? I'm guessing infantry, LAVs, probably. That's a great question. I'm not sure where they all went to. Bring back tank battalions, USMC vet. I'm with you. It's again the modern warfield now. It's we're doing a lot more drones and everything's up in the air now. But again, as an infantryman, nothing safer, feeling safer walking behind a tank as you're crunching through a village. Get the tanks to the Army. He's Air Force, not Navy Marine. So yeah, maybe you're right, Menachem. Maybe the other services do allow it. Yeah, there you go. All right, Poolee Pfeiffer asks, why did the Marine Corps ever get rid of equipment or weapons like the flamethrower? They work well at Iwo Jima and could have in Afghanistan too. It's a good question, Pfeiffer. And what I had heard is the flamethrower in particular. What's that word I'm looking for? It wasn't very. Yeah, politically correct is another way for it. Another like it was. What's the word? Like too much inhumane. That's the word. It was inhumane, and that's kind of stuff that America does because it would work. You tell me, most of the villages we went through, the houses were made of mud and weren't well constructed or poorly constructed. Wood flamethrowers would have easily destroyed. We can just go house by house with flamethrowers. Inhumane, yes, guns. Thank you. Geneva Convention. It worked in Vietnam and Iwo Jima because of the tunnels. There was no other way to get them out of there. Watch a video on Iwo Jima. That's how we were able to get them out. And even in Iwo Jima, they weren't as successful because the tunnels were so deep. But when they did get through, is rough. The mission changes daily. Tanks need to come back. I'm telling you, I'm with you, Randy. Why did they ever get rid of them? Maybe cut the MOS down a little bit. Maybe put them in storage for a while till the battlefield changed. That snipers too. I don't know why we got rid of snipers. Not Not convinced those were two good decisions. Too brutal, another way to put it, for war somehow impractical. MOS Motor T is safe. The MOS Motor T is safe. Um, Brenda asks, you're in combat, you're in combat. So I know a lot of Motor T drivers um, that have combat action. Our very own Gunny Rod, he's been on the show. Navy Cross, he was a Motor T Marine. Navy Cross, right? So is it safer? Combat is combat. They don't care what your MOS is. Are the chances more likely for an infantryman to get shot than a truck driver? Sure, by sheer numbers, but combat is combat. Monaco says they weren't too effective. Flamethrowers had the highest casualty rate. Who's the first person you want to take out if you're the enemy? The guy carrying the flamethrower. You hit that tank, boom, he's gone. The flamethrower's out of commission. So I can see that as well. Mr. Uncle Sam says, I don't feel comfortable with someone carrying a flamethrower when there's drones nowadays. They'll target that individual. Again, the life expectancy of the flamethrower probably wasn't that great. Even in deep tunnels, flamethrower would suck out the oxygen and suffocate the enemy. Yes, brutal. So, little of both, maybe. Radio operator, too. Another life expectancy, like 3 minutes in combat. I don't remember what it was because you take out the communications. Again, a radio operator, see that big antenna or a flamethrower, I'm sure they were the prize targets to try and get right off the bat. I believe all of them. All of them are. Man, yeah, some changes. You got to change with technology. You got to change with the times. Again, that's all around. Another issue we deal with in the civilian community. Recently, I've been dealing with that. You got to change. Times change. People change. Technology changes. You can't get stuck in the past. You cannot get stuck. This is how we always did it, done it. Well, that was great 30 years ago, 10 years ago, 15, even 5 years ago. That was great then. Times change. Open up your mind and technology changes. The internet, social media changes and it can help organizations. Use it. Don't be too old for it. Find someone who can do it. Use it to your benefit. That's what it's there for. Use it for the right reasons. So, Major, how did deployment change your perspective on leadership? Great question, Doc. Again, I've seen a lot of good leadership and bad leadership, but more great leadership than any bad leadership. Bad leadership was weeded out quickly. And I can only remember two, both lieutenants. Almost Desert Storm. I told that story a few times. He just disappeared. He was making some weird calls and he was just gone. The leadership recognized it right away. They held him accountable and sent him on his way. And then later on, we had a company commander who wanted to be Captain America and he wanted to be the one that saved the world. So he's doing some outlandish stuff. I think I told you about that time we were in Okinawa on the Mew. We had the 96s, Christmas and New Year's. In between those two 96s, he wanted me as the first sergeant. Get the Marines up out of the barracks. Let's go train. They're bored. They want to go in the field and train in the jungles of northern Okinawa. No, they don't. They want some time off. They want to relax. That was a bad leadership decision. You, Captain America, you go train in the Kahukus. That's Hawaii. And NTA and Okinawa and get ate up by bugs and snakes and whatever. So I'm very fortunate to have had some great leadership. My experience with poor leadership has been after the Marine Corps, and it's tough. It's tough to watch. It's tough to see, especially from the ones who are prior service Marines. You gotta think, what happened? Where's that failure? It's a couple of things: selfishness, driven by money, driven by power. Those things will destroy an organization, destroy morale, destroy everything there. You have something good in the palm of your hand, and you can lose it by those things: power hungry, money hungry, just all around poor leadership. You forget the basics. 101. I'm telling you, I always relate it to football. To be a good offensive lineman, you got to keep your hips low, arms up, and drive. That's not going to change. Even though the football change, the helmet change, your pads change, everything changes on that battlefield, except the proper way to block for your quarterback. Hips low, shoulders out. It just doesn't change. So basic leadership 101 doesn't change either. Leadership by example, compassionate leadership, servant leadership, know your men and look out for their welfare. We have those leadership traits and principles for a reason. It seems like some people get in a position, they forget all of them and think about me, myself, and I, driven for the wrong reasons. All right. Got me on that leadership again. Who did it? Who triggered me? Look at that. I saw it back here. I do need to land this helicopter very soon, but can't do it without showing. We talked about it. I keep telling you, Lay Cookie, hopefully he's working tonight because he's not on to bust my butt on it, but I did put out the video of the unboxing of the ANC Metalworks prize. Joe, I can't wait to hang this up. I put it up where that flag was. It wasn't popping right though, so I'm gonna have to find a better place, a good background on it. But we did the unboxing video. Those of you that watched it, but this is it. I said the ANC Metalworks. Can you see it a little more? I'm slowly getting it in. Boom! Semper Fi My Friend. Closer to me. Semper Fi My Friend. I'm watching this way. All right. This is it, man. I love this thing. I can't wait to put it up. ANC Metalworks. I mentioned it a few times. He is offering, Mike Laycook, he's on here, not on tonight. He's offering a 10% discount. 10% when you go to the website, order from him, and mention SFMF. 10% discount. All hands. This is obviously it's a special order, but he has some truly amazing products on that thing. The flag behind me, for those who don't know, the flag behind me was also made by ANC Metalworks. 100% American made by Marine, American, veteran, American products, made in America. Support your local veteran-owned businesses. Here's a way right here, and right now, our very own Michael Laycook, ANC Metalworks. The producer just put the website up, a link to the website. Absolutely amazing. Laycook, love you, brother. Laycook and I go way back, 35 years. Marines, early on, Okinawa time frame. I got tons of stories about Laycook. One of the hardest working men I've ever met in my life, and still to this day, he's awesome. Enemy says, I try that SFMF discount code everywhere, and it never works. That's what we got to get it out there. Mention it everywhere you go. Get some stickers. I won't do all the stickers, but get some stickers. We got to start tagging places. I may have a drive through here and there. I may have dropped one. Anytime I go on base, I always give the MPs at the gate, give them a couple stickers, get us out there, get our names out there, and hopefully more people will start using that SFMF 10% off discount. All good. Shout outs. Where's Carl? Carl, miss you. Michael's Drones. Where is he? Hopefully everyone's doing well. Keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Gary Morton, check him out. John McJunkin, our prayers are still always 100% with you. Everyone on here, again, I can't say it enough how much I love this community. All of you truly blessed to be in such an awesome community of warriors, like-minded warriors. Continue to push, continue to train, continue to lead each other. And telling you, you all know how I feel about the new administration, where America is going again, and this is how we do it. This is how we succeed, and keep on it. Love it. An awesome community. I'm ordering the USMC one. Now, you know what my next one's going to be? I think Lay Cookie, when you watch this later, of course, a big Sergeant Major chevron. That one, maybe I'll put that one over there. Something. Ordering again. All right. Um, blessings, all of you. It is Sunday. God bless you. Spend some time with Jesus if you haven't already. And continue to pray and be blessed. Be blessed. Will we see you Wednesday? Yes, we will. We'll be on this Wednesday night, 1900 Central Time. 1900 Central Time. We'll be back on Wednesday. Good to see y'all. Did I miss something? Oh, the producer's going to come say something. No, she's not. Good night. God bless all of you. We will definitely see you soon. Wednesday. We'll see you then. Semper Fi, my friends. Hurrah.